the afternoon time. It's 1:11. 111. Welcome to the Talk on the Block. If it's on the block, we'll talk about it. Let's take a break. We'll come right back.
So much the road and flies, Pop makes all of them die. Don't bother with the long chat, Pop tell you why. Pop makes all of them die.
Times are hard, but you've got to include Pop on your grocery list to protect you and your family against all flying and crawling insects, especially dengue mosquitoes. Pop's powerful formula kills insects fast. Pop is best on pets.
Pop makes all of them die.
Get serious, get Pop.
Pop, 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 make all of them die.
We are in the hurricane season. Don't forget to secure your home, board up windows, reinforce garage doors, and trim trees to prevent damage from flying debris.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We're ready.
We're ready.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We're ready.
We are ready.
Digicel, we are ready. Big matches and big moments. Watch the World Cup live on Digital Plus TV. The front row seat to every match, every moment. Digital Plus TV, bringing you closer to the game. Tio Kubule, c'est ça nous caboue. Tio Kubule, c'est ça nous l'étoile. Vele Kubule, nous cacher des forts. Selma Kubule, pavé Andy encore. Bacalache, Bacalache, Bacalache. Tio nous aime Kubule. Bacalache, Bacalache, Bacalache. Tio nous aime Kubule. Bacalache, Bacalache, Bacalache. Nous aimons Kubule. Bacalache, Bacalache, Bacalache. Nous aimons Kubule. Drink responsibly.
Need one trusted place to stock up for your home, shop, or business? Fine Foods Inc. Distribution has got you covered. From dry goods and frozen foods to your favorite drinks, alcoholic and non-alcoholic, plus all the household must-have. We've got it all under one roof. We're right here in Jimmy Dominica, and yet we deliver. Whether you're running a supermarket, a corner shop, a bar, or just like your pantry full and happy, Fine Foods Inc. brings you the best brands you know and love. Great prices, top-tier service, trusted products. 255-6810 or 316-0164, or drop by our Jimmy location to check out what's in store. Fine Foods Inc.
Fine Foods Inc. The biggest distributor for the biggest brand.
Dominicans, Dominicans, enjoy your property, protect your property. You homeowner and businessman, protect your property, enjoy your property. Can't wait for the hurricane, can't wait till you flood out, can't wait till you fly out and all your business coming out. Remember, no insurance company will insure your property when a storm is approaching. Get ahead of the hurricane season and insure with a company who gives you the assurance of payment for your valid claim. Come speak with us today at the New India Assurance Company Limited, upstairs AC Shillingford and Company Limited, 24 King George Street, Roseau. Bring along an up-to-date valuation from a qualified engineer and get insured today.
Here's a winner! Win an unforgettable experience during the FIFA World Cup games and win with Coca-Cola. Here's how you can enter. On cap a 591 ml Coke original taste or Coke zero sugar with the football label. Find the unit code under the cap. Send that code via WhatsApp to 265-5792 or scan the QR code in stores. It's that easy. One entry can make you win one of 5 flat screen smart TVs during the FIFA World Cup game or win FIFA merchandise instantly with over 1,500 prizes to be won. For more details, follow Josephine Gabriel Facebook page. Score with Coca-Cola and win! This Father's Day, celebrate Dad and Go. Sign up for postpaid and get 50% discount on selected handsets. Win $100 gas voucher for Dad. 2 lucky customers will drive away with 4 brand new tires. And 1 lucky customer will win a 43-inch TV. All you have to do is sign up for postpaid or switch to Digicel Home Internet. Yes, it's that simple to win. Visit your nearest Digicel store today and make this Father's Day one to remember. Digicel, the best network powered for Dad.
We're Dad. Fio Kubule, c'est ça nous cabouet. Fio Kubule, c'est ça nous l'écouet. Hele Kubule, nous caché des ports. C'est ma Kubule, avec un nid encore. Bacalache, Bacalache, Bacalache. Si on aurait fait Kubule, Bacalache, Bacalache, Bacalache. Si on aurait fait Kubule, Bacalache, Bacalache, Bacalache. No me Kubule, Bacalache, Bacalache, Bacalache. No cabouet Kubule. Drink responsibly.
We're a few minutes before our guest comes in there. It is the talk on the block. It's on the block. We have just about 10 minutes before our guest. So I'm going to take some of your calls. We just open up the lines there for 10 minutes. If you have any issues that you want to talk about, feel free to do so. The numbers are 449-3095, 449-3096, 449-3097, 616-4257. Just a point of correction. I was brought to my attention that the votes this morning as it relates to the nominations of the constituency branch in Marigot, the numbers were not 26, it was 22, okay, 22 to 0, 22 to nil, that the constituency branch voted in favor of Delbert Paris. When a meeting was held to select a candidate to put forward to the executive of the United Workers' Party, which will make a decision sometime very shortly. All right, Dominica, we're here for 449-3095-9697.
The news from AutoTrade. Incredible savings are here. Take advantage of AutoTrade's Thrifty Thursday promotion. Mark your calendars. On the last Thursday of each month, AutoTrade is offering up to 20% off items throughout the store. Yes, 20% off. But wait, here's more. Keep your eyes peeled for our exclusive Deal of the Day offer, bringing you even bigger discounts on select items. Whether you're looking for car accessories, maintenance essentials, or just browsing for a great deal, we've got you covered. So be sure to swing by AutoTrade every last Thursday. At AutoTrade, it's more than a vehicle, it's a relationship. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, hello, on the telephone. Are you there, caller? Hello? Yes?
Yes.
How are you, sir?
Yes, fine, sir. Do you know how delegate conferences vote?
How the delegates conference vote? You mean delegates? I think it was Secret ballot.
Yeah, it is. But it's influential people who have subordinates and they have the agenda and they come and they say, we want that person to win, so vote for that person, regardless if you want to or not. And you just go along with it. I feel again that they should have a vote of the population of Marigot to vote for who they want to represent them, and then who that win the vote should represent them. That is more of a fear rather than just shove a thing down your throat kind of a issue. You understand? Because
So your point is you would prefer if the primary was held in Marigot and let the people decide. That's your point.
yeah, that's exactly the point. Because when you go to a delegates conference, people come together and they say, okay, we want this guy to win for whatever agenda, whatever policy, whether it's your friend, whatever the case is, and you just vote for that person because that's what they tell you they want that outcome, and that's not a fair.
But even if they tell you who to vote, I mean, your conscience should tell you who to vote. It doesn't really matter if you're the majority says you should vote for that person and your conscience tell you differently. You go with your conscience, right?
No, it doesn't go with conscience. There is an agenda. The policy, whoever favors, whoever have their. That's
Where you strengthen my point. Even if somebody else tells you vote for that person and you feel in your conscience you're not doing the right thing, that's how you should vote.
Well, I've been in the delegates conference already, and usually you go there.
There's some campaign going on between the delegates. There's some people who want you to vote for this particular person or this person. You make up your mind as to who you want to vote.
Yeah, but that's not really how it usually goes. I think the population should vote for who they want, and then at the end of it, that's the outcome of the Marigot constituency of constituency.
Well, that's your way. Well, did it happen your way? Hello, talk to me on the telephone. Again, it's 22-0.
So if we do that, then we don't need a national election. We have to do that for the leader of the party, of each party in Dominica, and so then that's an election itself,
You'd prefer you'd prefer to go that way?
I refer to what the guy said. If the people of Marigot have to vote to decide who they want for a candidate, that's an election in itself. So let us say the person that win have more than 50% of the votes, then they don't need a general election.
But would you say that's a reflection? Would you say that's a reflection of how it should be? Just ask question. A reflection of the people on the ground? I'm just asking. I'm asking.
The people, the delegates will give the reflection of the people on the ground. We know that it has been like that all the time.
Okay.
All of a sudden, we want too much change. AI that doing that now? It has to be.
It was AI. I don't know if it's AI. Well, 449-3095-9697. The afternoon time is 1:24. Are you there? Yes.
Mr. Pelte,
How are you?
good afternoon. I've been listening since morning, but I didn't have nothing to say. But no, I just felt like saying like the way I watch it should be. Like the whole village like should be able to come together. Then like you'd have people pieces of paper, like one give person one paper, and to say if he's show them the five people, and the people should be able to say, well, you have to vote for one of them, which one you want. And then when you have the basket, maybe one basket or two baskets, and you put them in rows, like go on that side, one go there, one go on the other side. Put the paper in. So when they started to put out the paper and so on, they like you casting a lot. You start to put out the paper, then you know exactly how much person that vote for that person or how much that other person get. To me, it would be better. And anything after that, now you go to your side and do what you have to do. But I think when you see going little pieces, sometimes this bring too much confusion. You understand? So in church, when we have our thing there, now counseling there, everybody give you a piece of paper, and then you who you want to be in the council side and so on. And then when they put out, if you have 20, the other one may have 5, the other one may have 6. And that would be a better way to cast lots on there. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Dominica. We have just about 4 more minutes. Let's do this, and we'll come right back, Dominica.
This Wednesday, the guest on Talk on the Block is the former leader of the United Workers' Party. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. The question is Mr. Linton a member of the United Workers' Party? Is he now a friend of the Labour Party? He has agreed to answer all your burning questions live this Wednesday, 1 o'clock, Talk on the Block. Special guest, former leader of the United Workers' Party, Lennox Linton. If he's on the block, we will talk about it.
So the actuaries have looked at it, the accountants have looked at it, looked at all the numbers. So the actuaries have looked at it, the accountants have looked at it, looked at all the numbers, and they've determined with a high level of certainty that your electric bill
All right, Dominica, are you there, caller? Sorry about that. We missed that call. It's 1:27.
This Wednesday, the guest.
Something is going on with the computers.
This Wednesday, the guest on Talk on the Block is the former leader of the United Workers' Party. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. The question is Mr. Linton a member of the United Workers' Party? Is he now a friend of the Labour Party? He has agreed to answer all your burning questions live this Wednesday, 1 o'clock, Talk on the Block. Special guest, former leader of the United Workers' Party, Lennox Linton. If he's on the block, we will talk about it.
Hello, talk to me on the telephone. Yes? Uh-huh. Caller? Yes?
Hello?
Yes?
Hello?
I'm here. Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, I want to ask you, Matt, as well liked as Annie Edwards is in Marigot, do you think a vote of 0 for Annie Edwards sound like that was an open process and well accommodated to everyone? Does that make sense to you? 0? Tell us about the conditions of that thing. Was Annie even invited to that meeting? Was she notified of that meeting?
I can't answer the question because I have not spoken to Annie about it just yet. I've not spoken to her about that. Whether I've gotten I've gotten from sources close to her that she may not have been invited. That's what I can tell you.
I know that. Anyway, please.
Right. For now, again, the final decision will rest with the people or the executive of the United Workers' Party. When will that decision be made? We'll find out. Okay. Thank you very much. The computer's kind of sticking this afternoon. I don't know why. The process is a little slower here. Hello, talk to me. Yes. So based on the caller's point earlier, so there should be a primary for for the leader as well, huh? A primary where? In the country? Across the country? Somebody's asking a different question. Is there a standard for the election of the candidate for Marigot? When every other constituency, that's the way it goes? There should be no difference for Marigot. On the telephone, hello, talk to me. Yes? Uh-huh. Are you there?
Matt, please help educate your callers, man. Neither Delbert nor Anne is supposed to be invited to the meeting. None of them was there. What is this about? I tell you, they love Marigot. Maybe we can close to the airport.
Well, hello, caller. She's gone. 449. No, I don't know even what they invited. Whether they were told about this meeting. I think that's the question the person asked. Whether they were told that was going on. 449-309596. I tell you, my guest will be here any minute now. So, all right. 449-309596. The computer is acting up this afternoon. I don't know why. So somebody's saying, should there be a primary in every constituency as well? Why only Marigot? More questions than answers here. Are you there? Hello, yes? Yes. Yes. Hello? Hello? Yes. Uh-huh.
A question.
Ask me a question. If I can answer, I'll answer.
If Delbert cannot work with Thompson Fountain, and he is going off right now, he won the election they had there. Is there going to have two UWP party or one? On which side is Delbert going? Is it this side where Thompson Fountain is the leader, or is there another party, UWP, where Delbert will be going up with? I would like to know that.
I'd also like to know, because I've invited Mr. Delbert to this program. I did that since last week. I haven't gotten a response from him just yet. So he can answer all your questions. I can't answer for Delbert, huh? I just cannot answer for Delbert. On the telephone, hello, talk to me. Yes. Yes.
Good afternoon, Matt.
Yes, sir.
Matt, with all the political wrangling going on, those public and those secret, I would just like to remind the voters of this country that people go up to represent you. They don't go up to represent themselves and enrich themselves and to hold powerful positions. They initially go up to serve you. Those who are appearing to just want power and to enrich themselves, you should not vote for them, because that's not the reason why they're representing you. They're representing you because they're representing your interests, not theirs. So when you're voting, vote for those who go to represent you, not to hold power or to enrich themselves. Enough said, Matt. Good afternoon.
All right, hello, talk to me. Somebody saying, why is it that the candidates will not present present to vote for themselves? It is not fair to Annie to be facing an abstract election. Where is the transparency in the process? 449-3095. Again, we just opened up the lines there for one. We have just about four more minutes, and we'll continue. Hello, yes. Hello, yes.
Hello.
Hello, I'm here. Yes.
Hello.
I'm here.
Hello.
Yes, Scholar, I suspect you're having a problem with your line, but I'm answering you and I'm not hearing you 1 minute there. Yeah, your line seems to be a little, messed up. Are you there? Yes?
Yeah, Matt, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
Let me tell you something. If I was the national executive of United Workers' Party, if I was on there, I would not trust Delbert. I would not. I would not. Honestly, because if you cannot work with the leader, the present leader, why you want to be a candidate? We know exactly what's going to happen. If he becomes a PAL rep, he's going to jump across. So
are you making up your mind for Delbert, though? Are you making up your mind? Has he told you that?
Well, what just, Matt? There's two solutions, eh? Either Thompson leave United Workers' Party for the Jean Marigot, let them run it, or the national executive of United Workers' Party have to reject Delbert as a candidate. Plain and simple. Good afternoon.
All right, here's my advice to Delbert if I had one to give. Mr. Paris, if all the questions surrounding this nomination or selection of the constituency branch favoring you, of course, it appears this branch favors you. According to the vote, is 22-0. I think you should speak to the people and just clear the air. Clear the air and let them know what is your position. I can't speak for you. When you have a chance, if you have a chance, tell them what your position is and just clear it up. Clear up the misconceptions or the many questions. Because it's not fair to the people that they're speculating on what side you are. So just come, give me a call, speak to the people of Dominica or the people of Marigot. So this confusion would end, huh? That would be my advice to you, whether you want to accept it or not, but just help clear the air, okay, sir? We're gonna take a couple as we're gonna come back after this. All right.
The news from AutoTrade. Incredible savings are here. Take advantage of AutoTrade's Thrifty Thursday promotion. Mark your calendars. On the last Thursday of each month, AutoTrade is offering up to 20% off items throughout the store. Yes, 20% off. But wait, here's more. Keep your eyes peeled for our exclusive Deal of the Day offer, bringing you even bigger discounts on select items. Whether you're looking for car accessories, maintenance essentials, or just browsing for a great deal, we've got you covered. So be sure to swing by AutoTrade every last Thursday. At AutoTrade, it's more than a vehicle, it's a relationship. Terms and conditions apply.
Don't miss your daily dose of inspiration, wisdom, and transformation with Rhapsody of Realities by Pastor Chris. Join listeners around the world Monday to Friday at 7:30 a.m. as we bring you powerful devotional readings that will uplift your spirit, strengthen your faith, and position you for victorious living. Powerful teachings inspiring prayer's daily wisdom for life. A message of hope for every generation. Tune in from June 1st and experience the transforming power of God's Word through Rhapsody of Realities. Stay connected, stay inspired, stay victorious. Rhapsody of Realities, bringing God's Word to your world every single day.
Dominicans, enjoy your property, protect your property. You homeowner and businessman. Protect your property, insure your property. Can't wait for the hurricane, can't wait till you flood again. Can't wait till your roof fly out and all your business coming out. Remember, no insurance company will insure your property when a storm is approaching. Get ahead of the hurricane season and insure with a company who gives you the assurance of payment for your valid claim. Come speak with us today at the New India Assurance Company Limited, upstairs AC Shillingford and Company Limited, 24 King George Street, Roseau. Bring along an up-to-date valuation from a qualified engineer and get insured today.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We're ready.
We're ready.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We're ready.
We are ready.
Listen, we are ready. The season of big matches and big moments. Watch the World Cup live on Digital Plus TV. The front row seat to every match, every moment. Digital Plus TV, bringing you closer to the game of love.
And I'm sure some of the questions will be answered very shortly. And Mr. Delbert will clear the air. But while the United Workers' Party may be making noises among themselves, trying to decide on the way forward, it's clear that the leader of the UPP, the United Progressive Party, is hitting the ground running, and he's here back with me to speak to some of the issues on the ground. But I'm asking some hard questions, because a few people seem upset. That he's launching candidates and he's not waiting on the other side of the other side because some people say, well, I thought it was a united thing, and oh boy. And he says, Matt, can you play this song for me, please? It's called Let the Spirit Lead Me, Mr. Joshua Francis is back with me on the radio. Wasting no time.
So here I am to worship. Here I am to bow down. Here I am to say that you're my God. You're altogether lovely, altogether worthy, altogether wonderful to me. Sing it again. So here I am to worship. Here I am to bow down. Here I am to say that you're my. You're altogether lovely, altogether worthy, altogether wonderful to me. of the world, you stepped down into the dawn. My eyes, let me see that makes this heart adore.
Let me say good afternoon to Mr. Joshua Francis, who seems always ready to speak.
Here I am to worship, here I am to bow down.
I think I asked you that question before, Joshua. I'm going to say good afternoon to you before I ask the very first question this afternoon to you. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Francis, again.
Hi, bonjour, Matt.
It's almost a week ago you were here.
I think so. Bonjour, Monsieur.
But you're hitting the ground running.
Well, Matt, we have to, you know. We have to make hay while the shine is out.
Joshua, I'm going to ask you a question, because you were a former member of the United Workers' Party. Some people still feel that you should continue to be. Are you concerned with what's going on with the party, or that's not your business anymore?
Well, Matt, the people's business is always my business.
Okay.
And the United Workers' Party is a body of persons who have volunteered to represent my fellow brothers and sisters, and they are part of the United Opposition Force.
The first word, united.
Yes, they are supposed to be part. Let's put it that way. By virtue of the fact that they are resisting the current system in which we live in Dominica, they are deemed to be in the opposition, just as the United Progressive Party. And we in the United Progressive Party, we have been advocating for a united front in preparation for the next general election. That united front is not only to be realized at the polls, but as we speak, we expect a joint effort in persuading the majority of Dominicans, both here and abroad, why we need a change of government. And in that regard, we are expecting a joint effort in getting every voter on the voters list or the electors list in Dominica to get confirmed to vote. So it's a process, Matt. So on that basis, I have to be concerned as to what's happening to every other entity which has stood up against the current government, the current system, to bring that much needed change. A change that is urgent, a change that is required. It's a need. It's not a want. It's a need, because our current direction is taking us down a pit where it will be almost irreversible, the damage that could be caused. And therefore, we have to get that change. We have to secure that change.
But Joshua, there seemed to be, for some, a spirit of confusion, facing the United Workers' Party. Do you get an impression there at all?
Well, yes. I mean, it is clear that something is happening. Whilst I am concerned, I do not necessarily want to meddle with the internal affairs of the United Workers' Party. What I see on display in regards to what we deem to be confusion stems from an internal issue. And I can only hope and pray that the United Workers' Party's leadership takes care of that matter as soon as possible to control any possible damage, hence affecting the movement for change in Dominica.
If you were that leader, Joshua, and you were facing a situation like we see in Marigot, what would be your decision on that one?
Well, I don't want to speak specifically to the situation in Marigot, but generally, every leader at some point or the other would be confronted with challenges. And some of those challenges are sometimes internal. And there's a saying that internal challenges can be more potent than external challenges. I remember when I decided to enter the political arena, I sought counsel from senior political leaders, retired political leaders, one of whom was the deceased Patrick John. And he made a statement which, to this date, resonates very well in my spirit, a very profound statement. He said, Joshua, in politics, your enemies will be within your party and your opponents will be outside of your party.
Repeat that.
He said that my enemies will be within my party and my opponents will be outside of my party. Now, that's a very profound statement, which explains what I just said, that as a leader, sometimes you are confronted with challenges and the internal challenges can be deeper than the external challenges. But for me, Joshua Francis, as a leader, if I see there is an issue, I will not allow it to fester. I believe that leadership calls for decisiveness. It calls for ruthlessness sometimes, and ruthlessness not in terms of hurting or harming anybody deliberately or intentionally, but leaders are to be strong, to be courageous, to be wise, to have discernment, to see a problem from a distance and to take the necessary steps to arrest any issue that could possibly derail the leadership and the movement of the party.
Even if it hurts other members?
But our God is a God of war. If you read the book of Revelations, it is bloody. It talks about wailing of teeth and gnashing of teeth on that great day. So any strong leader, any understanding leader, any leader who see what is at stake, and what is at stake here in Dominica is very serious. Now is not time for gamesmanship and pettiness and emotions. Leadership does not call for children. It calls for men, for real men. And in that regard, some of those decisions which are to be taken may hurt somebody. We cannot please everybody. It's not possible. Not even the great God takes decisions to please everybody. There comes a time when you have to separate yourself from the others. There comes a time where you have to know what is right from wrong, whether to go left or right. And should I be in any situation where it calls for my leadership to take decisions in the interest of the public, in the interest of my party, I will do so. I think that at this hour, it's about Dominica, it's about Dominicans, it's about the realities that we are facing day to day in this country. Ordinary people are confronting significant issues which are causing burdens on them, and that is causing rippling effects such as health problems. And I hope we get an opportunity to speak to the many issues which are confronting Dominicans.
If you've been forgiven, if you've been redeemed, sing the song forever to the land. If you walk in freedom, if you
I'm going to take a few calls early o'clock because I said, yes, hello, are you there, caller? Yes,
Mr. Peltier.
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to talk to Mr. Joshua.
You want to talk to him?
No, I just want to say something to him.
Okay, go ahead.
Joshua, it is that there, Mr. Joshua, even with Peter and Paul and most of the members in God's group going out, Paul had problem with Peter because you are saying one thing, then when he's back, he's saying another thing. And Paul had to confront him and tell him, if you are Jew, if you are Gentile. And that too. So in groups, when you are there will always be confrontation. There will be adversity, but all these things will help you to grow in whatever you're doing. Because if you just say that no opposition, nothing at all, things will not work good for you. So in spite of the little fuck, all those good things that are going on there, it is a healthy thing. But the trouble is that you just have to know exactly where your head going and what you are doing and what you are saying. You understand? So in life, that there will always be a problem, and problem bring you closer to where you are going to. Without the problems, it's of no use.
All right, caller. No, I want to make a point that somebody's making there on the telephone, and I'm sure Joshua is going to comment on this. Now, if the opposition does not strategize well with which candidate is likely to win there, then it's an easy home run for the incumbent administration. No, you agree?
Well, yes, of course. I do agree that if the opposition fails to be strategic in its approach and in its execution, then it can make things easier or it can make things harder for the incumbent. But with the United Progressive Party, thus far, we have taken decisions which are in the best interest of the people. Our focus is on the people of Dominica.
Somebody says, would you ask Joshua how did he choose his candidates?
Well, again, I don't see the necessity of those questions. I think the person should have interest in how we can win a labor right, how we can take more people to confirm to vote. I think ultimately that is what matters. Sometimes we get caught up with nuances and insignificance to the point where we waste time and energy. And I'm very focused. My focus is on winning more labor rights or winning more Dominicans. And this, as a matter of fact, I think those who consider themselves labor rights should feel bad because things are not working out for them, a lot of them. And it's evident all over the country that the hoopla, the excitement,
But while you say that, Joshua, and some people may want to agree with you, they have actually chastised Skerrit for when he was going out there in selecting candidates, and the people on the ground were not happy with that.
Yeah, well, again, you're going to get different views and opinions. Those things are internal matters. I'm not one of them who went around making that an issue. Mr. Roosevelt Skerrit is the leader of the Dominica Labour Party. He takes care of his home. And he takes care of his home the way he thinks is best for his home.
But do you think that's democracy, though?
A democracy is democracy. It takes different meanings based on who speaks it. There is no one definition of democracy like everything else. Certain things are absolute and some of them are relative. Whatever he does within the machinery and organs of his Dominica Labour Party is his will. With the United Progressive Party, we have a constitution which serves as a guide as to how we take care of our processes, including selection of candidates. But as I said at this hour, let us focus on winning the next general election. And I would urge every supporter of opposition parties to get on the ground and to make a contribution. Calling your program is not enough. It's all good and nice to speak, to debate, to argue, but ultimately what's going to get the job done is the work. And I'm calling on every Dominican who is serious about making a change in Dominica to join forces, to put the hands on deck. This afternoon, if you're aware that your neighbor has not gotten confirmed to vote, find out whether he or she has the requisite documents, a valid ID, and take that person to get confirmed to vote. If your neighbor has not made up his mind or her mind about who or where she's going politically, if that person is a labor right, convince that person to stop supporting the Dominica Labour Party. It's that simple. Sometimes we make things unnecessarily difficult.
The question some people have asked me, and over the just weekend there, that you are out there, your party, UPP, has been out there launching candidates, and there's no discussion, say, with the United Workers' Party as it relates to their own candidates, that they where they have strongholds. Why would Joshua Francis and his team be launching candidates, for example, in Roseau Valley, and there's a strong semblance of support for the United Workers' Party in that constituency?
Well, Matt, first of all, that argument is fallacious. The last election in which the United Workers' Party partook was in 2019. That was 7 years ago. A lot of things have changed. To say that the United Workers' Party has a stronghold anywhere in Dominica is not supported by science. If somebody would have conducted a data survey and done a data analysis, then the person would be speaking based on facts. What we know historically, there are certain constituencies where we would have known the United Workers' Party has a residual support or majority support. And on that basis, one could argue that is a stronghold. But again, in politics, it's more than just surmise or guesses. You have to be scientific. But the point is taken. As to whether we are obliged to speak to any other political entity in making decisions for the United Progressive Party, I don't think that is appropriate. I think at the right time, every leader in the opposition force will come together and make decisions which are in the best interest of the people. But for
Is
now,
it too early or too late?
Well, again, timing is important in politics. And even if Dr. Fountain and I had those kind of discussions, it would not be appropriate to come on national radio to declare what will be the content of those conversations. I think sometimes people are impatient. As I said, and this is what I'm asking the public to do, is to put your energies together to create change for the better.
Or you don't think naming the candidates is important in that process?
Well, again, I cannot. Are you asking whether the United Workers Party should launch its candidates? Well, first of all, Matt, we announce candidates. I don't know whether you distinguish between a launch and an announcement, but we think that it's important to make announcements. Again, as I said, this is not gamesmanship. If somebody presents himself to serve, I don't see the difficulties in working with that person. If there are more than one persons in the community and they're willing to present themselves to work, then of course you cannot have two candidates for one political party running in any one constituency, and therefore a selection has to be done. And every party would have a constitution to guide them in the selection process. And even that is a task in Dominica now, Matt. The leaders would tell you, and I'm sure the leader of the Dominican Labour Party would have the same issue, maybe lesser than the opposition leaders. Finding people to serve as servants right now is really a task. You walk through the communities and you speak with constituents about who could be potential candidates, and they would name persons to you. You approach those persons and people show reluctance. So one reason or the other. Oh, well, I don't want to give up my job, or I have a mortgage, or I have young children, or I just got married. Not everybody is willing to make sacrifices, Matt. And that's why there's a saying that leaders are born or sent, because not everybody are prepared to make the sacrifices to bring change. The majority of people would prefer to be in their comfort zone and to send the leaders into the fire. But again, that's what leaders are supposed to do, to lead from the front. And getting persons who are prepared to lead right now is more difficult than in the past.
Somebody just insists that you should answer the question as it relates, and you were running away from the question as it relates to how you select your candidates.
But I just said we have a constitution. There is a constitution. That person could go on www.uppdominica.com and he or she could read the constitution and see how candidates are selected.
Okay. 4493095. Don't forget that you can ask any question, because he's here, willing to answer your questions. Are you there, caller? Yes. Sorry. Oh, sorry about that. Let's take another phone call. Yes, caller. Talk to me.
Good afternoon, Matt. Good afternoon, Joshua.
Good afternoon, yes.
Matt, I may be wrong and I'm subject to correction. Joshua has unveiled 4 candidates for his party.
4.
But what I find interesting is that I don't recall it. And as I said, I'm subject to correction. I have not heard Joshua identify himself as a candidate for any constituency yet. So where is Joshua leaning on?
Good question, yes. Joshua, the question is to you.
I think you have asked that question in the past, Matt. Again, I want to be straight to the public. At some point in time, I was indecisive as to who to represent in Parliament, whether back in Roseau South or the Kalinago territory. I have since made up my mind, and I have been spending more time in the Kalinago territory, understanding the needs of the people and prepared to serve the people of the Kalinago territory. I continue to be close to the Roseau South people, and I will advocate for them where it is necessary. But at this point in time, I'm working in the Kalinago territory, Matt.
So that would be your preferred choice?
Yes, Matt.
All right, 4493095. Somebody, as the third person asking me the question. So Joshua says his preferred choice, maybe he might change his mind, is the Carib territory. Hello, the Kalinago. Yes, are you there, caller? Yes.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. That even a person don't like a leader, work with the leader, and you in turn can become a leader. Because if everybody has to say, I don't like this leader, and they are leaving the party, nobody will trust that party. So people should have to work with the leader, and then in turn they can become a leader. Thank you.
I'm trying to get the
Well, I'm not too sure, but the natural inference that I'm drawing from that statement is suggesting to me that I should be in the United Workers' Party and working with Dr. Fontaine. I think that we are to look at things from a global point of view and understand the history of Joshua Francis in the United Workers' Party. But more so, Matt, I want to take this opportunity to say that some people have that argument that we formed the United Progressive Party because I wanted to be the leader. And that's so remote and distant from the truth. First and foremost, Matt, I want to say to the public, in 2015, 2 prominent gentlemen who worked within the bosom of the United Workers' Party came to my office, as it were, on 7 Cross Street in Roseau. And they made certain comments, one of which is that they felt that the current leader did not have what it took to become the Prime Minister of Dominica. And they said that they came to anoint me as the next Prime Minister. Basically, they were saying, Joshua, you should become a United Workers' Party leader. And in that conversation, I told them that I was not ready, that the current leader had one bite at the apple and he was deserving of a second bite. And furthermore, I was not ready to lead the United Workers' Party and the country. And at the end of the conversation, they were disappointed. And one of them said to me that he was very happy that he came to my office because he learned that I'm lacking a very important quality. And I asked him, what was that? And he said, ruthlessness. At the time, I disagreed with him because when I thought of the word ruthlessness, I thought of something bad, something evil. But then I came to understand what that meant, having gone through my trials and my tribulations. I'm saying all this to say, Matt, that it never occurred to me to challenge leadership to become the leader of United Workers' Party. As a matter of fact, when I was in the United Workers' Party, I never dreamt of challenging the leaders. And the record speaks for itself. Matt, I have been on your program 1,000,000 times, and on every occasion, I promoted my leader, as it were. So I have served as a follower. I was not interested in challenging, and I'm sure if I did, I would be successful. And if I wanted to be the leader of United Workers' Party, I would find myself United Workers' Party, and I would find somebody to nominate me at a delegate conference and to get a fair chance of becoming the leader. So I am where I am today, not because I want to be a leader or because I want to have my way or because I cannot follow. You know, history has shown that I was a good follower. Myself and the leadership did not always agree. Everybody know by now what went down. And I have moved on. Right now, I'm focused on working with people who are serious about lives and people who have love in their hearts. Because, Matt, I continue to say there are people who present themselves to serve and they don't have a history of serving. If you cannot take care of your own mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your children, you possibly cannot serve a stranger or a neighbor. And I'm building a team of persons who have a solid record of serving, people who have love in their hearts. Because to me, true representation comes from the heart. And if you do not have a history of love, of caring, of having natural affection, to me, that itself is a shortcoming. And worse is when you are paid or given a promise to be paid to serve people. And that is why there's a saying that politics has become very transactional. In the United Progressive Party, we are not into these transactions. We have presented ourselves, we go on the ground, we talk to the people, we listen to their concerns, where necessary, advocate for them. Let me tell you, Matt, in the United Progressive Party, we have already touched lives. In that short time, we have put smiles on faces. I'm not here to tell the public what we have done or what we're about to do. This morning, somebody sent me a Facebook link where Cozier Frederick has informed or announced to the world that he was going to do a re-roofing. And I laughed. I laugh for several reasons. Number one, that's not my style. We help people without making announcements. Number two, the job has not been done, and yet he's announcing what he wants to do. And that to me reflects the kind of representation from people who are doing this for a game, you know, and not out of love. Because if you help somebody, the world should not know that you're helping the person.
On the telephone, more telephone calls. Are you there, caller? Yes? Oh, sorry. Let's try another call. Yes, hello. Caller.
Yeah, Mark, good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
George.
Yeah.
Mark, there's a lot of people calling at Josh about trying to be competitive to the UWP and being interested in leader. Mark, you said, you had a Josh and talking, Joshua tried his utmost, Mark, to be included in the United Workers' Party. His utmost. And you see all of the stress that's going on there politically. I mean, we're not talking about the white elephant in the room. The white elephant in the room, in many regards, has been Joshua, because Thompson decided to engage Joshua Francis, Thompson decided to move on a path of a collective approach to solving the problem in Dominica. And many people in that institution agreed by that move. And all of these things you see going on there is from that premise, that very premise. You hear me? Otherwise, we have had no division. And so we need to be clear as to where these things are coming from and why they exist. It exists because of egos and power, nothing else. And I applaud Joshua for finally taking the initiative. I hope that he and Thompson can see it. And like I say, it needs some ruthlessness, and maybe Thompson needs to start practicing some ruthlessness. God bless.
God bless. Is that a true reflection?
Matt, I have been told by certain members of the United Workers' Party that Dr. Fontaine has made it clear to his party that he'll be willing to work with me, and he encountered a pushback.
Some people are upset about that.
Some people are upset. There's some people are persons who wanted me suspended indefinitely from the United Workers' Party. As you know, Matt, I had a private conversation with a few friends. Not everybody who were present on that given night would have been my friend.
Mm-hmm.
And that conversation went public through an audio clip. And on that basis, I was suspended from the party, and a number of months elapsed, and the party did not re-invite me back into their fold. Matter of fact, I'm aware that there were motions to expel me from the party. And from all reports, those who were behind my expulsion or attempting to expel me from the party are those who are giving Dr. Fontaine problems. But again, as I said, I do not want to go into the internal affairs of the United Workers' Party. I'm not here to expose or disclose my experiences beyond what the public already know. I want to be focused on lending my support.
What would be your advice to Dr. Fontaine, because you were there? What would be your advice to Dr. Fontaine in dealing with what is going on there?
Well, I have already spoken to Dr. Fontaine. As Dr. Fontaine would be getting advice from many quarters of the world, from every corner of the world. And it's for him to decide what he has to do. He's a leader. He has his style of leadership. And he must do what he thinks is best for himself and his party and for the country.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, Matt.
Well, you've been there.
I have been there. Matt, I remember when I was the deputy leader of the United Workers' Party, and there were certain elements who wanted to politically decapitate me and eliminate me.
That's the word, decapitate?
Yeah. I remember a particular leader saying that they did not need Rosa Salt because some people were arguing, while Joshua is in the pit, try to handle the situation in such a way it does not sever ties with Rosa Salt and that the party would lose Rosa Salt. And that particular leader said, we don't need Rosa Salt. We have won without Rosa Salt. We can proceed without Rosa Salt. I mean, I can say so many things. And moving forward, I will call a rabbit by name because I think it's time that Dominicans deserve or get honesty in politics.
Mm-hmm.
People say politics dirty. It's not the politics that's dirty. It's the people who play politics that can be dirty. And I wish not to be one of them. I believe that it's time righteousness prevail in this country, that we come straight. Some people come and they pretend to be what they are not. And I think Dominicans are seeing people for who they are right now. Some people speak righteousness. They speak truth. They speak and say what they say is truth. But their hearts are far away from the truth. No man can see another man's heart. But by people's action, you can tell where they really stand. And I feel sorry for Dr. Fontaine, what he's going through in one regard. Another way, I don't feel sorry for him because sometimes you have to go through the grind for you to evolve, for you to grow, for you to be strengthened. Because I myself, that's what I went through. Who I am is different from who I was in 2014 and 2015.
So you were in the lion's den.
I was in the lion's den, and the Spirit of God tamed the lions. The lions came out to devour me and destroy me. And eliminate me. But that was not plausible because I have the anointing of the Father in heaven. And I don't think I have it. I know that I have it, Matt. I know that my grandparents' blessings are upon my life. I know that the elderly people with whom I was raised, in my neighborhood, blessings are upon my life. From since I was a little boy, I carried water for elderly people. I cleaned their yards. I gave them medication. I bathed my grandmother with my hands, washed her clothes. So their blessings are upon me, Matt.
As a matter of fact, I gave a young lady a ride from the Lubia constituent. She said, man, I don't support Joshua, but I celebrate him. I celebrate what he's become because of the relationship you had with your parents. I'll share that with you.
Yeah, well, and Matt, that is why I'm going back to say to you that Dominicans have to really, discern who is who. Who is real. We need real leaders, authentic leaders who are sent. leaders who love people. If somebody, care less about you, why would you want to put him in parliament to represent you? Because Dominicans understand that the nature of our island is very difficult to have certain infrastructure. And really, my leadership is not about just physical infrastructure. It's about making people happy. It's about, restoring good health on the island. It's about people living in peace and harmony, people being able to open their windows at nights without any fear, people eating properly such that hypertension, diabetes, all those things will be lessened. People, when they get sick, God forbid, that they can go to a hospital where they can get better care and attention. That's it, Dominica, that I envision.
Let's take a phone call. Are you there, caller? Yes.
Yes. Good afternoon, Dominica. Good afternoon, Matt. Good afternoon, Joshua.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Josh. Josh, as anything else, you've been a serious fight for Dominica. You've been one who has the interest of people at heart. You've been a man for the people, by the people, and it's unfortunate that your tenure and your time within the political arena, guys has fought to shorten your time there. Because what I see, Josh, for the simple reason that you are having a simple conversation with somebody and some idiot may have sent it out. We see people within that same institution, the 10 times worse, attacking leaders, attacking everybody that call, wanting to threaten people. And they were part of executive. However, they still remain part of the party. Nobody has to execute them. No, I remember, maybe you don't know, but at a particular meeting it was said, put him on the guillotine. Let's politically execute him. I mean, you have fought a good fight. And if Thompson saw it fit to bring you into rescue Dominica, and big men still fighting that, clearly, the interest is not Dominica. And as such, I think Thompson have to be more decisive. Take action, and Dominicans must give support to Dominica. And Joshua Francis, I understand and I see exactly why your party is on the scene. I realize you're attracting some good candidates. And at the end of the day, if UWP can attract better candidates, some of yours will have to pull out. If your candidates are better, UWP will have to pull out. Because the interest of Dominica is what we have now. It's a common enemy. Well, we can't say a common enemy, because there are wolves in sheep clothing. So there are wolves among the sheep. And you never know. So I believe we have to take our time, the Dominican people, and decipher the wolves from the sheep and work with people with infectious spirit like justice. A young lady tell me, this guy, I've been hearing about him, but I spoke to him. And even if you start to talk to him with no interest in him politically, it's like you have an infectious spirit. You have to turn. My friend in New York told me the same thing. A number of people when was in New York were coming to the meeting just to meet that Joshua Francis. Joshua Francis is an asset that we have. I'm not saying an asset to UPP, an asset for Dominica. And we have to embrace him. And we have to give Thompson the fullest support to be able to derail the Labour Party, who's trying to bring Dominica even further down to its knees. So Joshua and Francis, I guess you guys have to hold hands together and rescue Dominica. Joshua, I know you're a team player. I know there can never be a time when you will put selfish reasons before Dominica. You've always been about Dominica. Continue to do the good work and don't be deterred by any evil spirit, any paro, anybody that comes out there and try to threaten. Stand up against them. I urge you all to move Dominica forward. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, caller. I appreciate.
Somebody says on Facebook, Matt, please call the man's name. It will help the party and supporters to see whom is fake or who is fake. Too many suffered the wrath of this man and refuses to expose him. Why are people so scared of saying who it is or who did what? It's people. It's Wolf in Sheep Clothing. Thank you very much. This is a WhatsApp message, a message on Facebook. But Joshua, have you did say that there are some people who are trying to stab you within the United Workers' Party. Have you forgiven these people?
Oh, long time, Matt. Long time. I mean, the past is way behind me. Right now, I'm focused on working with everybody prepared to make Dominica a better place. Our last caller made some succinct points, some very important points. And he said that Joshua and Thompson should work together. I want to make it publicly known that I'm prepared to work with Dr. Fontaine. As a matter of fact, whilst Dr. Fontaine, the leader of United Workers' Party, and Joshua Francis, the leader of United Progressive Party, failed to make a public statement as far as working together is concerned, I have been working for and on behalf of United Workers' Party. Matt, every time I'm on the ground. Yes, I do. I meet people, especially in Rosa South. They call me and they want to know what to do, whether they should get confirmed to vote, who to support. And I speak to them positively about the United Workers' Party. There are certain constituencies where we have no intention to put candidates. Consistent to what your last caller, Mr. Hilary Shillingford, stated, because at the end of the day, we want to take decisions which are in the best interest of the nation. And I encourage people to get confirmed to vote to support the United Workers' Party. So I have already started the process of encouraging Dominicans to support the United Workers' Party where it is necessary. And wherever I can assist.
Again, you're actually asking people to support the Workers' Party.
Yes, I do, Matt.
Because you have the same motive, you have the same objective.
But it's that simple, and there's nothing complicated about that. Our objective is to cause a change in government so that we get an opportunity to make lives better. It's not just getting the change, but having persons who are prepared to serve Dominica selflessly so that all of us can live a better life. Matt, every day I get calls, people visit me complaining about one struggle or the other. If it's not a health issue, people don't have money to pay for medicines. They don't have money to pay for medical tests. They don't have money to send their children to school. They don't have money to replace a gas cylinder. They don't have money to repair a door, a window, a roof. If it's not one, it's the other. And those are not greedy people. Those are ordinary Dominicans struggling to meet their day-to-day expenses because this Dominica Labour Party government failed to create a Dominica, failed to create an environment to grow businesses, to get Dominicans to understand that it's no longer about survival, it's about wealth creation. We have not even been able to survive properly in this country, far less to create wealth. With the United Progressive Party, our vision is to be part of a government where we can create an environment for everybody, irrespective of people's occupation, to live a better life, to enjoy a better life, to be able to be rewarded appropriately for their efforts, that every young person can dream and dream more and realize their dreams in this country. We have a lot of problems in this country, Matt, more than we are talking about. I don't know when last I came on this program to talk about the social ills in Dominica. The fact that after 26 years, the Dominica Labour Party government has not built a rehabilitation center for our many young men who are falling in cracks. The fact that we still do not have a training center where young people can go and to learn skills, vocational skills, etc. It's not everybody who's academically inclined. We are seeing too many young men, particularly leaving school, and they're on the block, not having the opportunity to develop a skill. We don't have that after 26 years. After 26 years, our schools have not had a curriculum to facilitate non-academics.
Are you saying that Mr. Rose is carried, as the song says, is killing the dreams of the young people?
He has, no doubt about it, Matt. I mean, right now, this man has become so insignificant as far as the development of Dominica is concerned. I only make mention of him politically.
Is that the right word? It's insignificant?
Yeah, in terms of the matrix, in terms of the development plan for Dominica, he does not exist. He only exists for purposes of persuading his followers to move away from him. But when you're talking about Dominica and the future of Dominica, he cannot possibly be part of the discussion because he had an opportunity, 22 years as a prime minister.
He missed it.
Significantly, Matt, not just missed it, he missed the mark. significantly. I mean, how can you be the head of a country with so many resources, gotten so much aid, made so much money from CBI, and to this date, we are not a producer, except that we are an exporter of our brains. We continue to export our young people. We export our sovereignty. We make money out of the sale of our birthright. And some people are now suggesting that we bring in CBI citizens, and maybe one day we can explore that. We have a country where foreign direct investment is the lowest in the Eastern Caribbean. This country has not been able to attract foreign investors. It is not by accident. No man with a lot of money and wanting to do business is going to go into a country where the cost of doing business is high, the population is small, the population is cash strapped, because business is about profit, Matt. And as a businessman, if you're looking at Antigua, St. Lucia, Dominica, and St. Vincent, it's not just about whether Dominica has a proper airport or not. It's about whether if you open a factory in Dominica, it's going to be profitable. Customs costs are high. The cost of doing business are high. The cost of energy is high. So when you put all those things together, Dominica is not attractive. We want to make Dominica attractive to investors.
What would you say if Roosevelt Scout, or if Roosevelt Scout gets out of office? What would be his legacy? Why would he be remembered for?
Well, Matt, of course, naturally, you're going to get different views on that. For me personally, I will remember a gentleman who missed the point. I remember a gentleman who came into politics at a young age. You have to give him credit for that, because even as we speak, there are many people who are not prepared to take up leadership roles. So commendations must be given to the gentleman for having taken up that role to lead Dominica. It could not have been easy for anyone at age 32 to become the executive head of a country. So you must commend him for that. But I think that whilst he started on the good path, because I myself, I remember the first public speech given by the gentleman, and I found it to be inspirational, but it didn't take long for me to stop supporting him. Once he had cut ties with Taiwan and moved China, and the allegations that he had received funding for that, to me, that was a huge turnoff. It was a huge turnoff for several reasons. And of course, over the years, we saw what he did.
So by the second year after being prime ministership, you just being prime minister, you decided that's not the man to support.
That, Matt, I stopped supporting the Labour Party, a few months after Dominica cut ties with Taiwan. Because I didn't see the vision for Dominica as being caught up in the Chinese web. Maybe one day we can discuss the whole China-Dominica relationship, but I don't think that was the best thing for Dominica. And to this date, I think Dominica can do without those kind of relationships. Over the years,
and you believe that?
I know that. Over the years, we have had a leadership that made ordinary people think that without China, we cannot survive. Without CBI, we cannot survive. That's a big lie. Had the government had a proper economic development plan for Dominica, one where we have short-term plans, medium-term plans, and long-term plans for Dominica, not just for Roseau, because that's another mark that this leadership missed. There's no rural development plan for Dominica.
Here's a question. I think I don't want to miss this. Now, if you become the prime minister or the leader of this country, would you consider changing your foreign relations, or you'd have to when you get there, you'll think about it?
Well, Matt, again, we don't have to get there to think about it. It has already been contemplated. Everything in Dominica is subject to review, including foreign relations. We have to take decisions which are in the best interest of Dominica. As we know, there are current relationships which are not working favorably for Dominica. It's inexcusable that a leader goes on the table and he accepts funding from a particular country on the basis that labor is provided by that country. Let's call it by its name. I mean, we know that all these capital projects, all these infrastructural projects, which were done by the Chinese, are under the condition that the majority of the labor force are by Chinese. That's basic economics. When you are constructing a capital project, as in the case of the international airport, labor makes up a very important component of national income because people have to be paid. And when you pay Chinese themselves and the money goes back to China, there is an opportunity cost right there. if you had locals, let's say you have 200 Chinese, had there been 200 locals, the local economy would be doing better because those persons would have been paid. They would go to the banks or the credit union, make a deposit, save some monies. The financial institutions reserve would be higher, and therefore they would be in a better place to give loans at a lower interest. Those workers would go to shops to buy. They would buy more clothes. They would buy more food. They'll be able to, those who do part-time farming would be able to take care of their farming, etc. So the multiplier effect would be more, and we would be feeling more from this construction. As we speak, the people of Wesley, Marigot, Kalinago territory, Kalibishi, they're not really feeling the effects. There isn't really a trickling effect from the construction of the international airport as far as cash is concerned. And again, that is because of the lack of foresight of this current regime. And Matt, that takes me to the point of another issue with this government. This government got all emotional and decided it's going to construct an international airport. To this date, we are not aware that the government has done a cost-benefit analysis, whether there has been any projection for arrival of passengers. And I will use the AGIL International Airport in St. Vincent as an example. The airport was constructed to facilitate to accommodate 1.5 million people annually. And the maximum number it has gotten from since 2017 is just over 100,000 people annually. So it is operating under full capacity.
And we have the biggest runway. We will have one of the biggest runways in the country. One of the biggest runways.
Right. And from my understanding, we're going to need a labor force of just about 300 to 350 people to operate that airport. And the annual expense is going to be about $50 million. Now, think about it, Matt. If we do not have passenger arrival and airlines operating at the airport, it means that the government of Dominica would have to subsidize the maintenance of the airport. So from a financial point of view, Dominica is not really going to benefit from that airport anytime soon.
Let's take a break. We'll come right back. Stick around.
We are open 7 days a week with the top of the line products. We're on stock, supermarket and pharmacy, health and beauty care, fresh produce and meats prepared daily, hot and cold kitchen, ready to go meals, sandwiches, salads, and desserts at your fingertips. Easy access, located on the bayfront, environment friendly, and our staff are approachable and ready to assist. Have you figured out who we are? You got it. Fresh your one stop. Fresh market.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We're ready.
We're ready.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We're ready.
We are ready.
Digicel, we are ready to seize big matches and big moments. Watch the World Cup live on Digital Plus TV. The front row seat to every match, every moment. Digital Plus TV, bringing you closer to the game you love. This Father's Day, celebrate Dad and Go. Sign up for postpaid and get 50% discount on selected handsets. Win $100 gas voucher for Dad. 2 lucky customers will drive away with 4 brand new tires. And 1 lucky customer will win a 43-inch TV. All you have to do is sign up for postpaid or switch to Digicel Home Internet. Yes, it's that simple to win. Visit your nearest Digicel store today and make this Father's Day one to remember. Digicel, the best network powered for Dad.
We're Dad.
We as a board think it's important that we first, coming from Domlek, really apologize to the public, for the inconvenience that you've gone through. I don't want to put any excuses on it. You are paying customers, you expect to turn on your switch, you expect continuous power, and you have not been having that, and we will explain some of the reasons why. It's not anyone's deliberate fault per se, but that.
As we just heard Sam Raphael there, what's your thoughts on geothermal, Joshua, on this high rates of electricity that we're now facing in Dublin?
Well, Matt, again, it's unfortunate. This project started since 2010. So it took how many years, Matt? Calculate it.
2010.
16 years.
16 years.
Over $200 million expended. And to this date, the company has not been able to configure the fusion of the geothermal grid to our existing grid.
Mm-hmm.
Hence, that explains why, according to what I understand, because I like to speak based on facts. So I engage somebody at Domlec to ascertain exactly why is it that we have this power outage so often. And my understanding is that the testing is taking place, and thus far they have not been able to get it right. So after 16 years, they have not been able to get it right. And the projection that our electricity bill will be reduced by 17% thus far has not been supported. And in any event,
because Mr. Anthony Martin, just to make a point, Mr. Anthony Martin, of course, has been studying the geothermal issue here, and he says nobody has explained what is the cost of producing geothermal energy. So that is what we have to take into consideration.
Well,
the officials have to speak about.
Right. Well, we know that the cost of that the project has taken up is easily over $250 million. That includes loans. And of course, it's a private-public sector initiative. And when you're a private-public sector initiative, profit is involved there.
Of course.
And
there's a company that's been given 25 years.
Right. And after 25 years, it recoups its profit, and then it will be handed to the government of Dominica. So the question is, I'm in my 70s, So in terms of realizing substantial benefits from this project, this generation will not really experience it. And of course, it was a government projection that we would be 100% geothermal by 2030. That certainly is not going to happen. When 2026 and 10 megawatts of energy from geothermal energy has not even been realized in 4 years' time, we do not see, 2030 full geothermal energy. We're nowhere close. And that's unfortunate because the cost of energy in this country is extremely high. So any factory that is electricity driven is not going to thrive in Dominica. But there are other factories that can thrive, and there are other sources of energies which can be explored. We can do solar, wind, and so on and so forth. So the government really, again, I'm not even asking the government to look at anything, Matt. We just need to change the government first to realize a better Dominica.
Are you the caller? Yes.
Yes, Matt, I just wanted to mention to Joshua, the relationship with China. It is a secret relationship. So how can the people of Dominica assess something that is secret to them? Joshua made some comments about, the fact that foreign workers came to do the work, but the rest of that MOU is secret to us. How do we assess it when it's secret? I don't think that these relationships should be secret. They should be public so that all the citizens of this country can assess it on its merit. Thank you.
Somebody saying I just got a comment there. I admire Joshua's deliberation. I mean, it's clear that even while he tries to build his party, he's talking about helping the United Workers' Party compared to this kind of talk with someone who has been the former leader of the United Workers, but yet find himself in the UWP stronghold talking ill of the party's leader and party itself, or the party itself. You can imagine how bad I feel for Blessings, who have been supporting every movement for change, and the very advocates of such moves have moved away from the courage to fight and may well be gearing up to join the Labour Party. What a shame. Again, that's just an opinion there. Hello, talk to me on the telephone. Are you there? Yes, are you there, caller? Yes. Caller.
Hello. Hello.
I'm here. Yes, sir.
Yeah. I would like to ask Mr. Francis a question. Probably he can help me. What is the total amount of megabytes do we require to generate electricity to satisfy the entire public of Dominica? And when you answer me, I have another question to ask you. I hope Matt don't cut me after you answer me. Just give me a few seconds after he answers. I have another question for him.
All right, yes.
Yeah, I think it's about 20 megawatts. So where we are, with the geothermal,
a little more to be comfortable.
But currently, with the population that we have, now the construction of the international airport and the operation of the international airport, there will be a greater demand for electricity.
So let's say comfortably about 30.
Right.
Are you there, caller? Yes.
Yes, but I did not get the response clear.
It says comfortably about, he said 2025, around that. Are you there, caller?
No, okay. I'm not hearing well. Apart from let's exclude those new businesses that have not come into existence. Actually, what is the amount of megas we require in Dominica to survive with electricity clearly.
Yes.
So we said about 20 megawatts.
Okay, 20 megahertz. We have to extract 10 megahertz from it. Okay, that's what 10 megahertz. So there we have 15 that is going to be on diesel and hydro.
We are listening, sir. We are listening.
Go ahead.
Yes. So what I'm saying is, I am trying to see how possible is that electricity can reduce when that 10 megahertz come into fully in operation. Because what I'm understanding is the people are going to run it for 25 years. They need to collect their profits,
Yep.
their interests. So how much is going to remain? And they have to sell to Domlec. How much is going to be in the profit of the masses when the little that shall remain from the geothermal plant? So I am just seeing my own thing. I am not a mathematician. I can't calculate that. But this is the only thing that I want you to ask to see. If that geothermal is really going to play a great part in the interest of all people when it comes to electricity. I don't know if what I'm asking is making sense. Thank you very much.
Fair questions.
Well, it is a fair question. It's a very important question because, again, when you look at things, from the past, you'd realize, Matt, and you remember the Dominica Labour Party was going all around Dominica dancing on platforms that lower electricity bills were coming. And they even went further to say that investors would be attracted to Dominica because of lower energy cost. And right now, we see clearly that's not happening, and it's unlikely to happen anytime soon. Now, Domlec announced that our utility bills could be reduced by 17%. But I am not too sure whether that accounted for the rise in diesel cost. And we do not know whether that rise in diesel cost is going to be sustained for a long period of time. So there are many questions left to be answered. And of course, 17% reduction in our bill is not going to transform our lives. It's not going to happen. It's just like last year when the government announced an increase in minimum wages for certain areas. That did not transform the lives of Dominicans. And even right now, I understand this morning the Prime Minister made an announcement concerning rural places. I didn't hear it because I was in court. But Matt, you can correct me. I understood that he allocated 72,000.
I'll play that clip for you. $72 million for these constituencies. But let's take a phone call. Break. We'll come right back. Are you the caller? Yes. Yes.
Yeah, Matt.
Yes, sir.
The problem with this failure that is occurring, we do not have a dependable or adequate diesel backup. If the system fails, you should have a diesel backup that kicks in right away. You don't have to go and restart generators. You should have a diesel backup that can handle the whole power grid. If it fails, it can replace it in an instant, automatically. So whatever fails, if the hydro fails or the geothermal fails, you should have a diesel backup that can just kick in and take the load. We don't have that. And I believe that's the way it's lacking. So when anything fails, we're running on sort of, equal power, just enough of what we're generating. When there's a failure, you have nothing to back it up. There should be a diesel backup adequate enough to run the island when everything else fails. We are lacking that. There's no doubt about that. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Let's take a break. We'll come back.
Win an unforgettable experience during the FIFA World Cup games and win with Coca-Cola. Here's how you can enter. On cap a 591 ml Coke original taste or Coke zero sugar with the football label. Find the unit code under the cap. Send that code via WhatsApp to 265-5792 or scan the QR code in stores. It's that easy. One entry can make you win one of 5 flat-screen smart TVs during the FIFA World Cup games. Or win FIFA merchandise instantly with over 1,500 prizes to be won. For more details, follow Josephine Gabriel Facebook page. Score with Coca-Cola and win!
I have a surprise from mosquito, roach and fly. Pop makes all of them die. Don't bother with the long chat, Pop tell you why. Pop makes all of them die.
Times are hard, but you've got to include Pop on your grocery list to protect you and your family against all flying and crawling insects. especially dengue mosquitoes. Bob's powerful formula kills insects fast. Bob is best on pets.
Bob makes all of them die.
Get serious. Get Bob.
Bob make all of them die.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We're ready.
We're ready.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We're ready.
We are ready.
Digicel, we are ready to the season of big matches and big moments. Watch the World Cup live on Digicel Plus TV. The front row seat to every match, every moment. Digicel Plus TV, bringing you closer to the game. This Father's Day, celebrate down and go. Sign up for postpaid and get 50% discount on selected handsets. Win $100 gas voucher for that. 2 lucky customers will drive away with 4 brand new tires, and 1 lucky customer will win a 43-inch TV. All you have to do is sign up for postpaid or switch to Digicel Home Internet. Yes, it's that simple to win. Visit your nearest Digicel store today and make this Father's Day one to remember. Digicel, the best network good for that.
Right now, remember once again, we're dead. When we don't count and the pocket that hurts you. A fresh market, We are open 7 days a week with the top of the line products. Well stock, supermarket and pharmacy, health and beauty care, fresh produce and meat prepared daily, hot and cold kitchen, ready to go meals, sandwiches, salads, and desserts at your fingertips. Easy access, located on the bayfront, environment friendly, and our staff are approachable and ready to assist. Have you figured out who we are? You got it, Fresh Market. Your one stop. Everybody that comes and everybody that hurts you. Fresh Market, Fresh Market,
We have a 10-year visa as we've always had, and our visas expire in the coming weeks and months. And we travel to Barbados to renew the visas. Of course, there is a ban in effect for Dominican.
Happy anniversary to Digicel. 20 years. Celebrate, connect, and win 20 years with Digicel. Celebrating relentless connectivity across Dominica, and we're giving back to you with more prizes and surprises.
Digital in 20. If you with Digicel, then you have plenty. 20 years we rolling with Digicel. If you're not with us, then hear me well. I have my TV and still have my cell. I have my internet all from Digicel. 20 years of real connection. So pay attention.
Win with the prizes, VIP experiences, brunch voucher, 6 months, bill free. Win more. Simple. Activate, switch, stay connected. Win. Visit your nearest Digicel store or speak to an agent today.
2020, digital in 20. If you with Digicel, then you are plenty. I say with Digi you can win. Celebrate, connect and win.
All right, Dominica, we're back. This is the Talk on the Block. Joshua, I just heard Mr. Nas's voice. Of course, you heard sometime this week that he was rejected a visa, American visa. He's been carrying this visa around for many. Anytime it's suspended or ended, he gets another one. So 10 years. He went back to the embassy on last Thursday looking for a visa. He's now the new president of the Caribbean Hotel and Tourism Association, and he was said the officer said, "Sir, you can't receive a visa."
Right. Well, but Matt, the U.S. travel proclamation was very clear. It says,
well, you would have thought, Joshua. I mean, a man like Mr. Nassif would have been given a little chance.
Well, Matt, you know how the U.S. system works. It's more meritorious than our system. The law is the law, the rule is the rule, and the rule prevailed. So that does not surprise me. What I would be interested in is to find out whether the leadership of this country has any report, because when the proclamation was given on travel restrictions from Dominica to the U.S. sometime in January, the Prime Minister stated that in 90 days that he will give the nation a report. And I'm not aware that he has given a report, given that he said that he had a delegation who met with U.S. officials to discuss the matter.
Yeah, they were having a meeting in St. Kitts, some Caracas meeting. He said that the Secretary of State said, things are looking up.
Right. But once again, it turned out to be a fat lie to the nation. And Dominicans who have their relatives out there, whether the relatives are at school or whether they're living in the US, now they are barred from going to the US if their visas are expired, as in the case of Mr. Nassif. And those who would have gotten visas cannot get visas right now because their applications would not be entertained.
So it means we have to change the entire CBI policy, and a government under your care would do what?
Well, first of all, Matt, I'm not a big proponent of the CBI program. I don't believe in selling birthrights. Again, those who are
must
Christians,
sound like Ralph Gonzalez.
Yeah, I don't believe in it, Matt, because we don't know what the future holds. Dominica, my vision for Dominica is to become the sanctuary of the world.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of water. There is a saying that water is life. Water is life, and we have that in abundance, which means that we have life. And that is why I'm a big proponent of conservation and protection. So that alone makes Dominica special. And we have a lot of fertile soils. Dominica is not as poisoned as most countries in the world, where a lot of chemicals have been used in processing production, or whether it's in agriculture or not. So I see Dominica as being the sanctuary of the world. There will come a time when everybody will want to be in Dominica. And more passports we sell is more we're giving rights away, because for every CBI citizen, he or she becomes a citizen of Dominica, and by law is entitled to enjoy Dominica just as a native Dominican. And I believe that more passports we sell, at some point we can become second-class citizens. Just imagine, Matt, out of the 50,000 plus passports we have sold thus far, if 100 of these wealthy people were to come to Dominica, they can change the structure of Dominica. They can change the landscape in the blink of an eye. They would have the money. They can buy off Roseau.
They can be made to vote.
Well, it's not just the voting. It's real estate. They will buy prime land. Already, ordinary Dominicans are finding it very difficult to own a piece of Roseau. Right now, as we speak, a square foot of land in Roseau is somewhere between $300 to $400 a square foot.
Between $250 and $400.
You understand? Based on, and if those guys were to come to Dominica and they decide, okay, they want to buy off Roseau, they may be willing to pay, $1,000 a square foot, because money is like a joke to them. Most of these subscribers of the CBI program, most of these economic citizens are super wealthy. So if 10, to 100 were to come to Dominica, they can change things for us. So I'm not a proponent of that. I believe that we can develop this country without having to sell our birthrights. We have the opportunity. We can become more self-reliant. We need to get Dominicans first and foremost to appreciate what we have. Matt, it's so beautiful when you can leave your home, go and enjoy the beach without any fear that a gunshot is around the corner. It's so beautiful that you can still leave your windows open. So beautiful that you can put anything in the soil and it can grow. You can walk to a spring. You can go to the rivers. You can go to water catchment areas and drink the water. I mean, those intangibles are immeasurable. It's not everything you quantify with dollar signs. Dominica is just a wonderful place. And my vision for Dominica is that it will become the sanctuary of the world as it will become more poisonous. You see in the leaders in the metropolitan areas trying to reverse the trend. And then, of course, we have the indigenous people who make Dominica even makes more special, Matt. And on that note, I believe in the vision I have for Dominica. I believe we need a Kalinago house in Roseau. When we talk about Kalinagos, we talk about the reservation, but we need to actually give Kalinagos a right to the city of the nation. And in that regard, Joshua Francis, being part of a government, would advocate heavily to get a portion of land in Roseau and construct a building for the Kalinagos and refer to it as a Kalinago house. And in that house, you would have a museum displaying and portraying the history of the Kalinagos. And part of the house will house the craft makers, where they can come and sell their crafts.
So you don't have to travel all the way to the
Kalinago territory. There will be vendors in the Kalinago territory, but I'm saying that it is time that Kalinagos be given a piece of Roseau. And me as a prime minister or part of a government, definitely I would advocate for the Kalinagos to get a piece of Roseau.
Let's take a break. We'll come back. We don't have too much more time. We'll take a break. We'll come back. All right. Where are you?
Building supplies for you, kitchen appliances, even home decor too. Lumber, lawn, all your garden supplies, plumbing, welding, electrical supplies. Visit Do It Center at the former Jane Acid Hardware location on Goodwill Road. Call us at 255-6890. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. Center. Fuel your farm with premium animal feeds at Bloombox. We're excited to announce a major expansion to our lineup. Bloombox Farm and Garden Center is now your go-to supplier for high-quality animal feeds. From poultry to livestock, we provide the specialized nutrition your animal needs to thrive. Our feed portfolio includes poultry solutions, swine care, small pet and livestock. Visit Bloombox in Roseau on the corner of Hanover Street and Drury Lane, or Bloombox Goodwill, 66 Federation Drive, Goodwill. Let's bloom together.
Fio kubule, sesa nuka kwe. Fio kubule, sesa mule kwe. Hele kubule, nuka chede ko. Sema kubule, pake andi anko. Bakalache, bakalache, bakalache. Fio no eme kubule. Bakalache, bakalache, bakalache. Fio no eme kubule. Bakalache, 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 bakalache. No eme kubule. Bakalache, bakalache, bakalache. No eme kubule. Drink responsibly.
At the different phases in life, we move at a different pace. All we need is to be supported. Cause when the baby's coming, business needs revamping, the new job started, and you need an outfit. Let momentum hook you up. Momentum will hook you up. The wedding's planning, rent through dates coming. Momentum is your support financing. Let momentum hook you up. Momentum will hook you up.
Take advantage of NCCU's Momentum Loan and get the support you need for whatever stage you are in life with a tiered interest rate and exclusive emergency fund component. Let NCCU's Momentum hook you up. Call 255-2126. Email membercare@nccudominica.com or visit any NCCU location for more details. Your faith.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We're ready.
We're ready.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We're ready.
We are ready.
Digicel, we are ready. Season of big matches and big moments. Watch the World Cup live on Digital Plus TV. The front row seat to every match, every moment. Digital Plus TV, bringing you closer to the game. All you, I just made goal winning Roseau again. Same place outside Flossie's. I tried to dock him, but he had time see me. Where? Story start again. Million, lot of my father with us, huh? Salka fella, I said the same thing you doing, shopping at Flossie's, and you don't have to tell me the same thing you tell me last time because I'm busy. It's to hear him way. You reckon? About my pocket, boy. I won't tell you that I save money in food and drinks when I buy quantity. I save more. Oh, shucks, man. Good when you're still telling me. I know already. To pack a spit him, why? But it can him up here to Palais. I will tell all my friends from London, US and Dominica to come to Flossie's. Right next to the Rosa Market. Open Sunday to Saturday. Flossie's can't do it to you.
Let's continue, Dominica. This is, of course, Q95. It's 1 minute to 3 o'clock. We'll give you a few more extra minutes. Hello, are you there, caller? Yes, good afternoon.
Yes, I am. Good afternoon, Matt.
Good afternoon to you.
And how are you?
I'm trying my best under the circumstances.
Very good. Likewise, me. Presently, I have been listening to my boss, and my boss is ready to move Dominica. Well, let me just tell you, I'm from the Kalinago territory, the Salibe constituency, which has been neglected for years and years. 26 years we have been neglected. And right now, God has sent a man that is the book from the Bible, Joshua. He sent him to rescue us, to make our living better, because we have been suffering. We have been suffering for years. And I applied, but in the first place, let me tell you all that I was a center of I was a pillar. I was a pillar of the Labour Party government from since in the time of Mike Douglas, and I've been still. I don't even think I've changed from being a Labourite. But when Josh came and he spoke to me, I felt that he was God sent. And today he is ready to move Dominica and the people of the Salibia constituency, because in the first place, Salibia constituency Atkinson is jointly forth, and our past representative, they believe that Salibia constituency belongs only to the Kalinago people, which is not. So, we were neglected for ever so long. Empty promises were made for us, and today, if we see, and it's not we see, no, it's because we have seen that he is going to help us, because he has already started before he was even in position to help. He has been helping. And I am appealing to the Dominicans. I'm appealing to the Salibia constituency. I'm appealing that at least Josh is the person for us. I mean, he is not one person he's not somebody that's looking for political party or money or anything else. He is just somebody God sent to save us from the misery that the Salibia constituency is presently going through. So, God bless Josh, and what he's saying, he means what he says.
Endorsement for Joshua Francis there from the KT, they call it?
Yeah, KT.
KT.
Yeah, Matt, that caller really touched my heart because I know the caller. She's a genuine person. You heard her said that she was a pillar of the Dominica Labour Party.
Mm-hmm.
And when we spoke, meaning myself and the caller, she decided to lend support to me and the movement which is taking place in the Kalinago territory. But what really touched my heart is when she spoke about the hardship that my Kalinago brothers and sisters have had to encounter over the years. Basic things like food, money to buy medicine, to have roofs over their heads in certain cases.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reality facing a number of my Kalinagos. And life supposed to be better. And I just ask God for the strength to represent and to assist where I can. And for all those who wish to assist and all those in the struggle, I ask God to look over us.
Let's take a voice note there. We'll wrap it up here after this. Hello? Yes?
Mr. Francis, to add on to what you're saying about Dominica and its natural resources, my brother, with Dominica's potential as far as the soil and water, we could literally have a strictly organic state, my brother. You know how much that would boost us up? And it's not really tooting my horn. I've been to St. Lucia. I taste the coconut, the cane, and drink their water. I've been to Barbados, Antigua. You know, none of them taste like Dominica. I don't know what about Dominica, that our soil and our water. My cousin, Baron Frederick, the man, he told me years ago when he had that water business, the bottling water in Dominica. I think they went on somewhere they went in the island, and they had a taste test with which water tastes the best. And with all the tests that they do, Dominica water came out the best. You know what I'm saying? And many people can attest to what I'm saying. Our kakao, our coconut water, our mango, our fruits and vegetables, something up. I don't know if it's the volcanic activity. There's something that happened. I don't know. So we can do better than we are right now. And then look at our music right now, and the young people with the music, assist them to bring our music further. That's not the revenue coming to Dominica, because more people will be coming to Dominica for Creole Fest and Carnival. So this government, you don't need to give them advice, Mr. Francis. They don't need no more advice at this time.
just got to do what we got to do. And I hope the Dominicans be there, like you said, for Dominica, not for a party, because Dominica is hurting right now. It's literally hurting.
All right, caller, thank you. A few callers there from the Kalinago territory. KT, huh? Thank you, the trucker. Thank you. Somebody says, Matt, Joshua, use the House of Dark Secrets for the Kalinago house. I approve this message. That's a good idea.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we don't know who owns that house, but it can become a government house. Because one of the areas that we in the United Progressive Party has been looking at is to conduct a forensic investigation in the governance of Dominica in the area of the CBI offshore sector, to name a few. And when the forensic investigation is done, buildings that needs to be taken up by the state will be taken up by the state. It's a possibility that the House of Dark Secrets could be one of them.
Somebody says, if you don't decide to get into the CBI, what will be your source of revenue?
Well, first of all, it's not an abrupt end to the CBI. It's a process. You do not, take up governance and within a month just eliminate a major source of funding. You have to put things in place. It's transitory. In the short term, the government definitely would put people back to work. And one of the areas is agriculture, not just to put people back on the farm, but to finance agro-processing. Matt, we continue to have a lot of waste of our fruits. We do not have a mill to process our beans, cocoa beans, to process cassava, turmeric, ginger, just to name a few. So definitely we have to put an immediate injection into that area. That's a source of putting people to work. On that basis, let me say the United Progressive Party definitely believes that we need to open the Petit Savan to Delices Road. We need to have an engineer assess the current situation in Petit Savan, and based on the report, if it's positive, to immediately reopen the Petit Savan community, and in so doing, to give the Petit Savan residents who are in the resettled areas in Belleville the opportunity to go back to Petit Savan, and for those involved in the Bayram processing, the distilleries, to give them the subsidies to get them back at work, and to have a special fund, to allocate a special fund for the farmers of Petit Savan, so when they go back to Petit Savan, they can get into their economic activity to take care of their families. And on that basis, the United Progressive Party also believes that every farmer, every serious farmer in Dominica should be provided with assistance. Their feeder roads opened up, and they should be provided with technical support and financial support. After all, we subsidize foreign artists to come here to sing foolishness at the expense of a lot of money. We can take that money to put into the productive sectors in Dominica. And I believe that can be done within the first 3 months of governance. And therefore, over time, as we open up the economy, one of the areas also we can allocate more funding is in the area of offshore business. Dominica can become a leading country for offshore business, whether it's offshore banking, whether it's virtual assets. After all, we did pass legislation to facilitate virtual assets licensures. And in that regard, Dominica can also generate a lot of funding. Matt, in the interest of time, we cannot explore all the areas.
Well, we wanted to touch on some area there earlier as it relates to $72 million. Let me allow you to speak on that before we go.
This initiative and $8.2 million have been identified for direct intervention. The project will support farmers, strengthen vulnerable communities, and improve the country's ability to prepare for and recover from climate impacts. It's a 5-year initiative, and 8 communities have been identified for direct interventions. They are Campbell, Collyho, Coolibistri, Pichle, Bagatelle, Good Hope, Petit Soufre, and Saint-Sauveur. Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit says this investment is ultimately about people.
This project is a $70 million EC project, investments that will go directly to the people in those communities. More than 50% of that $70 million will go towards agriculture and agro-processing, and ensuring that women in particular are highlighted in a dramatic way in the access to the opportunities. And so it's important for us in the communities to prepare ourselves for these investments. We have to avail ourselves of the opportunity. We have to inform ourselves when there are community meetings to speak about how do you access the funding, how do you access the opportunities. You have to go. You cannot be busy and expect somebody to come knock in your door and say, well, I'm ready to give you money. It's not going to happen this way. You must be part of the community consultations. So I'm urging the residents in those communities to put yourself forward.
More than 520 farmers and agro-processors will receive support through climate-smart technologies, irrigation systems, greenhouse infrastructure, and other resilience-building investments designed to improve productivity on their farms while reducing climate risks.
Right, that was of course, the press secretary ending this Prime Minister's report on the $72 million.
Yeah, well, Matt, again, those initiatives, first and foremost, they are not indigenous to the Prime Minister and his office. A lot of those projects are UN-sponsored projects on the climate resilience programs. Secondly, we cannot trust this government to get any prosperity in those projects. We have seen that this government, for some reason, when its hands are involved, even in international implementations of projects, that somehow they fail. Look at CREED. You remember the big hoopla after Hurricane Maria? Dominica was going to be the first resilient country in the world, not in the Caribbean, but in the whole wide world. So we had this grandeur, this prime minister who stood on the international platform and announced to the world that Dominica was going to become the first climate resilient country in the world. People had some kind of excitement. We pulled down monies from international funding agencies based on our quest to become more resilient. And to this date, after all these expenditures, after all those people who benefited from the program, what do we have to show for it, Matt? What do we have to show for it? Now, election is not far away. We do not know when it is. So we're going to hear more of those announcements. And unfortunately, the government is going to use those opportunities to dangle carrots in the faces of our people. So sadly, some of those farmers anticipating some of those funds are going to feel they have to be loyal to the Dominican Labour Party to get those funds. So we have to be watchful. And I'm saying to the Dominican public, do not allow those things to work on us anymore. That type of political seduction was yesterday. We're not going to allow this government to blind us and make us believe that implementation of government projects warrants a vote to the Dominican Labour Party. Because in any event, a change of government is not going to disrupt the implementation of government programs which are to the benefit of the people. Unlike this Dominican Labour Party that discontinued a few projects that were in progress by the United Workers' Party, a change of government definitely, me being part of a cabinet, anything that is good for the people that would have been started by the Dominican Labour Party, it will not be discontinued. It will be improved. So we have the Yes We Care program as an example.
So you'll have continuity.
Well, definitely. Anything that is good and sound will be continued with improvement, because we always have to look for improvement. You do not just implement a project and leave it and go. And that is one of the reasons why a number of projects have failed in Dominica, because they're implemented, but there is no sustainable, reviews and inventories and so on and so forth. So I believe that a change of government definitely is going to have continuity with things like Yes We Care, but we believe that Yes We Care program can be improved. It may have to be moved from the Prime Minister's office and from the Rapid Response Department, where politicians can put their hands into the program. Those programs, such as Yes We Care and the NEP program, have been political tools by the Dominican Labour Party. And whilst I'm on that note, let me put it clear to the public that this time around, we're not going to accept intimidation by supervisors in the NEP program. Some of those supervisors in NEP programs are bigger politicians than their PAL reps. They intimidate the employees. They tell them things like, we'll know where you're voting. We'll know where we're voting. And I hope the Electoral Commission puts a public statement out there to remind the public that a vote is a secret ballot, and therefore nobody should know where you vote. Hence, people should not feel intimidated because they have an NEP job that they must vote for the Dominican Labour Party. I am aware that some persons were told that they had a certain date by which they had to get confirmed to vote, and failure to do so would cost them their jobs. I'm also aware that some people lost their NEP jobs because they expressed themselves, because they showed dissent to this government. That has to stop. This intimidation, this oppression, this victimization must come to an end in Dominica. And I'm standing for the voiceless. And any supervisor who I know would have done something like that, I will come on Matt's program and blast that person's name so Dominicans can know who that person is and deal with that person accordingly. We need to stop oppressing people in this country.
Joshua, on that note, we're going to take it away. Thank you very much, Joshua Francis. He'll be back. And I'll play you this song because there seems to be hope in the horizon, huh?
Someday things will work out for my good. I've cried in the dark, but I understood. Yeah. Sweet donna que andavamo. The journey of life is a heavy road, bare feet on the stones still carry hope. Sweet donna que andavamo. Someday things will work for my good. Keep on walking, even when I'm bruised. The journey is not an easy one, but we do not lose hope. We keep holding on. So let's celebrate with the cup. Dance with the tears still trying in your eyes. 'Cause one thing I know deep inside is the truth. Sweet you, it will all come through. They talk like they know how my story ends, but they weren't there when I lost my friends. Sweet do not care. I fall to my knees when the fear comes in, then I rise again, feel the faith within. Sweet do not care. Things will work out for my good. Keep on walking, even when I'm bruised. The journey of life is not an easy one, but we do not lose hope. We keep holding on. So let's celebrate. Dance with the tears still trying in your eyes. 'Cause one thing I know deep inside is true. Sweet do God, it will all come through. We rise even when he's tired, hand in hand. We sing